Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for another video. This week I wanted to discuss the topic of love addiction. As usual, we'll discuss what love addiction is and ways that you could be managed and how we can work on it if you are someone who's addicted to love. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Hamasa, and on this page we discuss personal development and overall emotional and mental well-being. Press the notification button so you're up to date with my content. So let's start, guys. What is love addiction? Love addiction is when you are someone who constantly is chasing to be in a relationship. Your happiness, your validation, your fulfillment, your joy, your purpose in life comes from wanting to be in a relationship. And if you are someone who is in a relationship but is still addicted to love, you are then this very needy, very demanding, kind of deflated, just wanting time and attention from your partner, a quite overwhelming and overbearing kind of partner if you suffer from love addiction. And for those of you who you feel like you might be a little bit needy in the relationship, then this is the perfect video for you. And well done for recognizing that. That shows a great sign of emotional intelligence and maturity to understand that what you are doing wrong and the role that you have to play in your relationship. So love addiction stems from a sense of abandonment, usually in childhood or just throughout your life. And by abandonment, I don't mean someone leaving you and walking away. And I don't really mean like a severe emotional abandonment where your parents turned their backs on you and left you. It could have just been some sort of a sibling rivalry, for example, that one of your parents paid more attention to one of your siblings than you at a certain time, or in your relationship, or even a teacher. So it could be a very minor little incident that may trigger this love addiction in you. So just because you haven't been abandoned in your life doesn't mean that, oh, well, that doesn't apply to me. Surely that can't be me. Love addiction comes from wanting and depending your happiness and everything on someone else and expecting them to fulfill it. So this is why people who are not in relationships are constantly chasing and wanting relationships, because they feel like once they're with someone, then they'll feel like themselves, then they'll feel happy, then they'll feel content. So that's why they need another person to give them these things. And what happens more times than not is that when you do get with someone, because the issue is really within you and a sense of fulfillment that you haven't given yourself, a love that you haven't given yourself, you're expecting someone else to give, they don't usually meet those expectations because they don't even know what they're dealing with. They don't even know that you've placed these expectations on them or that you have this love addiction. So when they don't meet those expectations and they don't give you the things that you want them to give you, then you're completely deflated and very disappointed and kind of feel like, well, this person isn't good enough. They can't make me happy. It's not their job to make you happy, but you start believing that it is their job to make you happy. So you put it on them. You start projecting things on them, things that you're not satisfied with yourself, onto someone else, and expecting them to understand and fill those gaps. But because you haven't addressed that within yourself, you will always have that issue with every partner that you get with. So you may change your partner and feel that excitement, that rush of a first relationship, which is what you're addicted to, which is what the love addiction comes down to. Every time you get with someone new, you feel these things and you feel like this is it. This person's going to make me feel these things that I haven't been able to feel before, and they're going to fix my problems and they're going to make these things happen for me. And then they don't, because they don't even know that they're supposed to be doing these things for you. Then you're going through the cycle again. And if you are in a relationship and you love that person, but you're addicted to their attention, so you're constantly questioning your self-worth when you are in a relationship. And unfortunately, things like love addiction, possessiveness, jealousy, and insecurity kind of go hand in hand. So if you're constantly not trusting your partner, if they're spending time with someone of the opposite sex that makes you feel really insecure and you become extremely jealous, you start doubting your own self, your abilities and everything. If you want all their time and attention and affection, if you're canceling plans with your own friends and family and your everything just to be with this person, and you're constantly just waiting for them to be available so that you could do something. You don't feel like you could do anything by yourself. That is what love addiction looks like within relationships. And in both cases, it's very unhealthy. It's okay to be a little bit obsessed with your partner if the relationship's new and exciting and you want to see what they're up to and whether they're complimentary towards you. All of that is absolutely fine if it's in moderation. Like everything else, everything is okay in moderation if you know your limits and boundaries and it's not turned into an unhealthy addiction. But the problem with this situation is that it has now turned into an unhealthy addiction. It is now becoming detrimental to your everyday, to your other relationships around you, your family and friends. So if you feel like you are this person that constantly needs to be texting, in the era that we live in and this whole digital world, when you're love addicted, you actually pay a lot more attention to someone's social media, who they're speaking to, what they're doing, and how much they're messaging you. Have they been online? What's their Snapchat score? And all the rest of it that you see thousands of memes about. All of that is very unhealthy, not only for your partner and for the relationship, but for yourself. Because these are gaps that you have within yourself that you haven't worked on, and you don't have trust in people. That's why you feel so insecure, and that's why you feel like you don't believe anything that comes out of your partner's mouth. And that's okay if you've been through something that has put your trust in people at question. But that's not okay to judge every single person by that standard and believe that everything that comes out of everybody's mouth is a lie. Because you cannot live like that. You are then living your life in paranoia. So what are the things to do to address this sort of dependence that you have on a partner, on love, or a relationship? The thing to do is to start loving yourself. I know I say this all the time, and I have other videos that cover self-love. And it might seem like, oh, this again. But if you cannot love yourself correctly, how could you possibly love someone else the right way? And how could you possibly know what you need to be loved if you don't know what that is and you are just fulfilling gaps? Because no one else can do that job for you. If you have emotional traumas that you haven't addressed and faced, someone else cannot come and fix that for you. So all you will do is just sabotage and jeopardize your future relationships, and you will be constantly chasing this high of wanting to be with new people in the hope that they will improve your overall mental and emotional state, when really you will just constantly be left disappointed. So in ways to address this, by me saying you need to love yourself, I mean that you need to really get to know yourself and understand your likes and dislikes, figure out your boundaries, know what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, and have your own family and friends and your own individuality and a life outside of that relationship. Because God forbid anything happens in that relationship, then if you're constantly feeling that that person completes you and you're only a whole because of your partner, then you will feel lost and broken and depleted when that relationship fails. And you weren't born to be that. Your mother didn't work that hard to carry you for 9 months and give birth to you for you to feel like you're not a complete whole person by yourself. That you need someone else to fulfill that or make you feel good about yourself or give you validation and self-worth. So the thing to do is to understand that even if you are in a relationship, you still need to have your hobbies, your likes, your dislikes, your friends, and to do those things alone, away from your partner, to give each other space to miss each other. Because what happens is that whenever you're around someone and whenever you are always with them, you tend to become complacent and not appreciate the value that they bring to your life. That's why you start searching for the next new exciting thing. But if you're doing your own thing and your partner's doing their own thing within the boundaries and respect of the relationship that you two have, then there is nothing wrong with that, and you're giving each other time to miss each other. You're keeping the excitement alive, you're keeping that appreciation there, you don't take your partner for granted, and you're not complacent. Because you understand what it means to be without them, and so you look forward to being with them. And when you're with them, you're appreciating and using that time to build and grow and feel better, and you fulfill each other. You don't complete each other. You're not halves. You are just adding to each other. You are just bringing bonuses to each other, and that's how it should be. So if at any point that relationship doesn't work, yeah, they're making your life better, but they're not making your life. You are making your life. And so if that partner didn't work out and that relationship didn't work out, you are then taking that time to heal and feel that disappointment, that hurt, that anger, fix it, and then move on to the next relationship, so that you are not going into it broken and projecting and having these expectations of your next partner. I heard this thing that someone said not long ago: in order to heal it, you need to feel it, and that could not be truer. And what happens with people who are love addicted is that the minute one relationship doesn't work out, they then take that baggage and trauma and straight away project it onto their next partner and hope for them to make that better and fix it. And that's why things keep failing. And if nothing changes, then nothing changes. So you need to feel those emotions to know how to handle them, how to overcome them, how to learn from them, so that you have a clean slate, that when you start a new relationship, you are a whole, healed, complete person. So that's why you know your worth, you know your value, and you know that you will be okay by yourself. So find hobbies outside of your relationship, go on trips, go on vacations, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, have your own life, go out, give each other space to miss each other, and break out of this cycle of being addicted to another human being and to the love and the high that they provide for you. You should be able to deal with those emotions by yourself, and you should be able to overcome them. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys here again soon. Mwah.